What would you do if you found a wallet filled with cash, when you barely had enough money to eat? For 12-year-old Daniel, that question came on the coldest morning of his life. And his answer would change far more than just one stranger's day. Inside that wallet was enough money to solve every problem Daniel had been carrying for months. But when he opened it, he saw something that made him stop. A small family photograph. A little girl smiling beside her father. Daniel quietly closed the wallet and whispered, "This belongs to someone." Before we begin, if you believe one small act of kindness can change a life, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub, like this video, and comment below with where you're watching from. You never know who might need a little hope today. Daniel lived with his mother and 8-year-old sister, Emma, in a tiny apartment on the edge of a busy American city. Their home was small, their furniture was old, and some nights dinner was nothing more than toast and soup. Daniel's mother, Maria, worked long hours cleaning offices. She always came home tired, but she never complained in front of her children. "We may not have much," she often told Daniel, "but we can always choose to be good people." Daniel remembered those words every day. One chilly Saturday morning, Maria gave Daniel a few dollars and asked him to walk to the grocery store. "Just get bread, milk, and something for Emma," she said with a tired smile. Daniel nodded and slipped the money into his pocket. On his way home, he noticed something lying near a bench outside a small coffee shop. It was a black leather wallet. He looked around. Nobody seemed to be searching for it. Daniel picked it up and opened it. His eyes widened. There were several $100 bills inside. For a moment, he simply stared. That money could buy groceries for weeks. It could help pay the overdue electricity bill. It could even buy Emma the winter coat she desperately needed. Then Daniel noticed a driver's license. The wallet belonged to a man named Michael Carter. There were also credit cards, a business card, and a small photograph of a little girl. Daniel stared at the photograph. The girl looked about Emma's age. He thought about his mother struggling to keep their family together. He thought about Emma sleeping under 2 blankets because their apartment was so cold. Then he looked at the money again. Nobody was watching. Daniel could have taken just one bill. No one would ever know. But he remembered his mother's words. We can always choose to be good people. Daniel closed the wallet. He walked back toward the coffee shop and asked the cashier if anyone had reported a lost wallet. The cashier shook his head. Daniel waited outside for nearly an hour. Cars came and went. People hurried down the sidewalk. Finally, a man in a dark blue jacket came running toward the bench. His face was pale and worried. "Have you seen a black wallet?" he asked several people. Daniel stepped forward. "Are you Michael Carter?" The men froze. "Yes." Daniel held out the wallet. Michael grabbed it with both hands. He opened it quickly. Everything was there. The cash. The cards. The photograph. Michael looked at Daniel in disbelief. "You found this?" Daniel nodded. "You could have kept it." Daniel looked down. "I thought about it." Michael smiled sadly. "I understand." Then he asked, "Why did you return it?" Daniel shrugged. "My mom says being poor doesn't mean you have to be dishonest." Michael became silent. For several seconds, he couldn't speak. Then he looked at Daniel again. "What's your name?" "Daniel." "Daniel, thank you." Michael reached into his wallet and pulled out a $100 bill. Daniel immediately shook his head. "No, sir. I just wanted to return your wallet." Michael lowered the money. "Then please let me buy you lunch." Daniel hesitated. He was hungry. So he agreed. Inside the coffee shop, Michael ordered sandwiches and hot chocolate for Daniel. As they talked, Michael learned about Daniel's family. He discovered that Daniel's mother worked multiple jobs and that their electricity was in danger of being shut off. He also learned about Emma's broken winter coat. Michael listened quietly. Before Daniel left, Michael handed him a business card. "If your mother needs work," he said, "tell her to call me." Daniel thanked him and went home. That night, he told his mother what had happened. Maria hugged him tightly. "I'm proud of you," she whispered. 2 days later, Maria called the number on Michael's card. Michael owned a small local property management company. He offered Maria a full-time position with better pay and regular hours. Maria couldn't believe it. She accepted. But Michael didn't stop there. He arranged for the company to help Daniel's family with their overdue electricity bill. He also bought Emma a warm winter coat. When Maria tried to thank him, Michael simply smiled. "I'm not doing this because your son returned my wallet," he said. "I'm doing it because your son reminded me what kind of person I want to be." Months passed. Life began changing for Daniel's family. The lights stayed on. There was food in the refrigerator. Maria finally had evenings at home. Emma stopped worrying about the cold. And Daniel continued going to school, carrying the same quiet kindness that had changed everything. One afternoon, Michael visited Daniel's school. He was there to speak to the students about honesty. He told them about the wallet. He didn't mention Daniel's name at first. He simply asked the students a question. "If you found a wallet containing hundreds of dollars, what would you do?" The room became quiet. Then Michael pointed toward Daniel. "This boy found mine." Daniel looked embarrassed as the students turned toward him. Michael continued. He had every reason to keep it. He needed the money. His family was struggling. But he returned every dollar. The classroom filled with applause. Daniel smiled. But Michael wasn't finished. He looked at the students and said, "Kindness doesn't always come back in the same form. Sometimes you help someone and never see the result. But that doesn't make the kindness worthless." Years later, Daniel still remembered that day. He eventually graduated from college and began working with a nonprofit organization that helped families facing financial hardship. Whenever someone asked him why he chose that career, he told them about a wallet. But he always ended the story the same way. "My mother taught me that being poor never gives you permission to become poor in character." Daniel never forgot the lesson. And neither did Michael. The lost wallet had brought two strangers together, but the real treasure wasn't the money inside it. It was the kindness that followed. Because sometimes, one honest decision can open a door you never expected. Sometimes, a small act can inspire another person to become better. And sometimes, the person you help today may become the reason someone else receives help tomorrow. So the next time you have a chance to do something kind, even if nobody is watching, do it. Return what isn't yours. Help someone who is struggling. Offer a smile. Give someone hope. Because kindness may seem small in the moment, but you never know how far it will travel. Daniel returned a wallet. But what he really returned to the world was a reminder that goodness still matters. And sometimes, one simple act of kindness can change an entire life.